Okay, now that we understand graphs, we can begin comparing them because that's usually what graphs are used for. It's to analyze data, compare data. So let's get started. So we have here two dot plots, and we're going to compare the data. And so we're just going to ask a few questions. That's going to force us to look at the data for both of these. This says number of tickets sold for the school dance by girls and two boys. So it says which graph has the highest median. And so we're gonna go ahead and figure that out. So I could write out, as we looked at before, I could write out all the numbers individually, or I can just go ahead and just look at the dots. And I want you to listen and see how I do this. So I'm going to go one, one, two, two, three, three, four, four, five, five, six, six, seven, seven, and there's my number in the middle. So for girls, I got a 6. Let's do it for the boys now. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, and there's my number in the middle. For boys, it was 4. So which graph has the highest median? The girls. Okay, I'm going to erase this. And again, did you see how counting off, when there's lots of numbers and you have to find the number in the middle, if I didn't count off and there were two numbers in the middle, I would not have known it. All right, here we go. But in both those situations, we had only one dot in the middle. Which graph has the biggest spread? All right, so let's look at our girls. So that's our range. So there's the highest and here is the lowest. Now notice I didn't circle the 0 because there's no data above the 0. So I'm using the 1. So it's 16 minus 1, which is 15. For the boys, it's 16 and also 1. So, I'm going to go ahead and write it down, but I can already tell it's going to be the same. No winners there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and erase what I've put on the dot plot. Do either of the graphs have an outlier? Yes, yes. Which one? I want you to take a peek at it. Which one has an outlier? Yes, right here, this 16 girls, that 16 is an outlier because it's away from all the other data and quite different from all the other data. Okay, then it says, did boys or girls do better in ticket sales? So again, if I add these up, I can't just add up the dots. I have to add up the number for each dot. So this dot here represents 16. This dot represents 8. This dot represents 7. There's 2 7s here, so this represents 14. This dot represents 1, 2, 4 6s, so it represents 24. This represents 10. This is 3, 6, 9, 12, and this represents 1. Now I already did the math with this, and so for the girls, it adds up to 116. So we have to be careful with dot plots because a dot could represent a number more than 1. So let's look at the boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 4, 12, 13, and then this is 15, 30, 45 because each of those dots is represented by a 15. And then this would be 32. If we add those up, we get 85. So the girls did better on that. I think this is biased towards the girls. What do you think? Okay, let's keep going. Now I'm going to look at a box plot and I'm going to compare box plots. We did this a little bit already. We're going to do it again. Which chapter has the highest median? So let's see, just a note, this is chapter 9 and chapter 10 is what we're comparing. I don't even know what we're comparing about chapter 9 and chapter 10, but chapter 9 has a median of chapter 9 and 10. 9 has a median of, looks like it's literally in the middle there. I don't really like that, but I'll go ahead and write it. Looks like it's 77.5. And for 10, and let me just go ahead and put that there for 10, the median is at 65. So chapter 9 is the winner on that one. Let's look at the next one. The highest spread. Now, spread is the range. So we have chapter 9 and chapter 10. I'm just going to not write the word chapter there, save us a little bit of writing. And so let me erase these other lines here. Let's see, chapter 9. I'm going to go all the way out here to the dot. That's 95. And all the way to this dot, that's 60. 95 minus 60 is 35. Okay, number 10, or chapter 10, let's look at that spread. The highest is 80. The lowest is 50. So the spread on that is 30. So it looks like 9 is the winner again. All right, which test did the students do better on? Well, if you look at the data for 9, it's skewed higher to the right, and for 10, it's skewed closer to the left. So we can definitely say that this is, these are test scores at chapter 9 test score, they did the best on that one. Which test had the lower score? Well, then it would be chapter had the lowest score. Now, the data is skewed to the left, but I mean, chapter 9, we could have had an outlier, someone that did lower than chapter 10, but still, it's still chapter 10 has the lowest score. All right, let's look at circle graphs. We're comparing, and again, this usually a lot of times you're comparing graphs. It's called data analysis, which is actually the title of this entire unit. True or false? Games and utilities on smartphones is more than games on tablets. So let's look at games, utilities. Those two add up to 55%. And versus what's tablets? On the tablets, see more than games on games on tablets is 57. So this tablets. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. True or false question. Games and utilities on smartphones, that is a false statement because the tablets were a few percent higher. Let's look at the next one. All right. What is the difference between social networking on both graphs? I'm going to erase these circles here. We're just going to look at social networking. This one's 29. This one's 15. So 29 minus 15 equals 14% difference. So on smartphones, people are doing social networking on their smartphones way more than on the tablets. But gaming, they're gaming more on tablets. That's kind of quick and interesting information. What is the biggest difference between the two graphs? And me looking at the graphs, I would say games. Just looking at it really quick, it is a much bigger piece of the pie for tablets. What's the question number 12? What's the difference between music and videos on both graphs? Okay, so let's see. Music and videos here, it's 8%. Music and videos here is 13. So the difference, there is a 5% difference. All right, so again, we're just reading, comparing, answering the questions. Sometimes we're just looking at the size. Sometimes we're actually doing some math along with it. So you're going to get an opportunity right now to practice this on your own. Good luck. You're going to be awesome. Bye-bye.